Sounds good to me.
Word, hey, chopping it with Mittens, joking about his name is so fly. Mittens, cause he whipping, don't you get it, but it's so hot, hot. Now let this be a lesson, professor. He handling and hitting his possession. Ooh, what you cooking, scalding hot beats, was blow up before it's cooking. Ooh, I know you're looking true. I'm out taking with this beat, I'm a lady man. I'm really trying to date it out. What's the number trying to call out? What about my team? Wood, shout they don't get logged out. Made by Bethesda, the only way we fall out. Morocco, you a mole. Find another hole to crawl out. Hey, I'm sick of squirrel with the biggest girls. Lace since the case get up. I'm thinking stripping girl. Damn,
oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is going to be a follow-up to a broadcast that we've already done on this channel at one time or another. Should be fun either which way, but just wanted to give you guys a bit of clarification before we step into it. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News 2nd Edition. I am your host, and welcome to the GOUT Report / Retort, brought to you by Snortbucks Coffee Co, the best beverage company. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, do any of you guys remember the AlphaOmegaSin video that I did? Or it's DSP versus AlphaOmegaSin. Something along those lines. Well, this right here is a follow-up to it because Phil ain't sat there and responded to this dude twice in the same goddamn day. Yeah, I know. It's amazing, ain't it? Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the King of Hate vlogs, name dropping, rage quits, and an apology, i.e. AlphaOmegaSin. This is from February 19th of 2016. This is on the King of Hate vlogs. The link to the original video will be down in the description. Now, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a follow-up to a video, as I said earlier, that I've already done. The title of that video was DSP / KO Gaming Tries It, being mentioned by AlphaOmegaSin. This is from February 18th of 2016. That video was done by James Cash. The link to that video will be down in the description of the video that I did. You'll find it. It's not too far off, I don't think. I didn't know that Phil responded to this guy in the same day. Now, let me actually give you guys the context real fast. So, AlphaOmegaSin was doing a video talking about Street Fighter V and the amount of rage quitters that were in Street Fighter V and the implication of a rage quit hell and so on and so forth. Now, to go ahead and push his argument, he needed someone he mentioned someone as an example, like I do, for example, to help illustrate his point, and he chose Darksydephil. Now, was there a better option? Abso-fucking-lutely. Low tier god. He's notorious for that shit. That's why he has so many goddamn accounts and whatnot. That's why they're named all. That's why he has so many named accounts, I should say, the way they are, because he's known for rage quitting, and it's part of his gimmick, and he made it work, to be honest. But that would have been the better example. Plenty of detractors who know anything about this will tell you that. Plenty of examples. Plenty of examples of low tier god rage quitting, making him the better choice. Fullbender TV, if he still goes by that name, he's done like the saltiest battles and stuff like that, and you can see the comparison between low tier god and DSP. It's all there. So big ups to Fullbender. But he chose Darksydephil, and he took a name that had been around for a long time, who was known for shitty behavior, for shitty reactions to losing matches, and for someone who has rage quit before. He's not as prominent in rage quitting as someone as low tier god, but he has done it. But more importantly, he chose someone who was widely known for rage quitting games, not just fighting games, but games in general. So under reasonable circumstances, I understand why he chose Darksydephil or DSP. I get it. I absolutely get it. Was there a better choice? Yes, but I understand why. With that being said, Phil goes ahead and gets into his best soiled panties and starts ranting about shit on a pre-stream, then on Twitter, probably caught backlash, and that's why he did an edited video. Yes, you heard me right. Did an edited video approaching AlphaOmegaSin, and by the sound of it, it sounds like he actually apologizes to him or he's asking for an apology, because Phil has a fetish for that. Who could say? Either which way, we're about to get into this nonsense right now. Right motherfucking now. Silly shit. Now, real quick, before we actually get into this stuff, at the end of the day, Phil should have shrugged this off. He should have shrugged the fuck off this punch. You know what I'm saying? Or this jab. It was really just a jab. Phil made it seem like it was a KO punch, but it was really just a jab. Phil should have shrugged this shit off and kept it moving, just like he should have done with Rich from my apologies, I haven't had my Snortbucks yet. Rich from Review Tech USA, when he sat there and called out, rightfully so, about Phil calling his fans lazy during the Pokemon Sun and Moon playthrough, when enough of them didn't show up on stream. Same concept. He should have reached out to Rich through DMs on Twitter and left it at that, instead of coming up there saying piggy tard shit like, "Oh, I was sleeping when you tweeted at me, and how was I supposed to respond to that because I was sleeping." You need to only do that to you should, if you're gonna confront me about something, you should do it when I'm awake and I'm available to do so. The world don't stop for you, asshole. Okay? While Rich was over there sucking off on whatever cucumbers he was sucking off, and he saw someone mention this, and then he watched the video, he tweeted you right then and there. He doesn't have to wait and do that on anybody's time but his own. But Phil actually said that dumb shit. That piggy tard shit. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this really, in my opinion, and you might see it, you might not, but let me lay out the circumstances for you. The real reason why Phil tried to fight back against AlphaOmegaSin is because Phil ain't already soiled the bed. He ain't already fucked himself by giving up on Project 7 remake or reboot. He gave up on Project 7 reboot / trailer or whatever dumb shit he tried to pass off now, so he could play the beta for, it was the alpha or the beta for Street Fighter V. That's what, he didn't postpone it, he just went ahead and just gave up on it after collecting all of that Patreon money for it. That's the real reason why people were pissed off at him. That was the real reason why people were coming at his neck. But he sat there and, I think, threw this shit on AlphaOmegaSin because Alpha Omega was already sending fucking alley-oops to the no-fly zone. And Phil was like, "Oh, well, I'll write off this and use this as my crutch. Use this as my example. My wee." And that's what he did. Phil was already fucking himself over with his fan base. He was already losing views in, early 2016 because of his bullshit shenanigans with Patreon. That AlphaOmegaSin thing wasn't that big of a deal. And more importantly, if anything else, AlphaOmegaSin actually helped you, because whether it's positive attention or negative attention, attention is attention. And so if you're really rage quitting, right, then people are going to probably want to go over there and see it. They want to see the salt. They want to see the rage. Phil don't see it like that. But in any case, Phil felt the need to respond to him twice. We're going to hear the nonsense. Should be interesting, hopefully. But it's a follow-up, and you know how I like doing follow-ups. So here you guys go with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GOUT Report. And this is DSP News 2nd Edition. See you guys in a second. Go ahead and get yourself some Snortbucks. You're going to need it. See you guys in a minute.
I'm just a nerd shouter. Hey, I'm just a nerd shouter. Hey, I'm just a nerd shouter. Street Fighter 2, that is my dude. Dark Cloud 2, that is the new. I like RPGs and everything. Metal Gear Solid, man, that's my swing. Hey.
Phil here, and I have a pretty important subject to talk about. In fact, in the future moving forward, when I find that there is someone with huge influence on the internet, i.e. a big YouTuber or e-celebrity or whoever it might be, and they're going to be publicly saying something about me that I know to be factually untrue but could be detrimental to myself or my business, if it's harmful to me and my livelihood, I'm going to make a video like this to call it out. Now, in particular...
Now, first off, that was his first mistake. Oh, I'm only going to call out the big influencers, right? And that's the reason why his detractor community even exists. That's the reason why his detractor community is as strong as it is. And that's the reason why his detractors each individually have their own kingdoms. And that's the reason why he can't win. Because he thought all these other guys are out here that are little piss-ons, like myself, for example. He thinks, oh well, you know, you're not shit. I can avoid you, or I don't have to acknowledge you. It's whatever. You can't really hurt me. He really believes that silly shit. And what happens is it just becomes it all accumulates. So basically, he came along on his horse and saw me building a wall. And he's like, oh, what's that wall for? Oh, to keep assholes like you out, Phil. Oh, really? Peasant? Pfft. Go ahead and keep building your wall. And kept walking. As he kept walking, I kept building that wall. That wall ended up becoming 4 walls. Those 4 walls ended up becoming a drawbridge. The drawbridge ended up leading to the building of a castle. That castle ended up leading to an outer perimeter, which ended up becoming what one could call my kingdom, if you will, so to speak. You know what I mean? And then the next time, now he's going ahead and trotting along, doesn't have the wealth, doesn't have the influence, doesn't have any power, and now that little peon that he thought with that little wall and whatnot has something a little bit more than what he has, so to speak. And now all of a sudden, I'm not one for you to be spitting on, huh? Or even spitting at. He definitely wouldn't spit on me. If not, I'd knock him and his fucking horse out. So, well, now I'll let the horse go. Whatever. The people in his kingdom have to eat, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Horse meat is horse meat. So then what? So now that's just one person. Now look at all them dudes that are all right down the line. Look at the people that are my neighbors, my peers, people who I speak to, and so on and so forth. And now they've built the exact same goddamn thing. He's sitting here worrying about these bigger guys who look at him as such a joke, or look at him with such pity, that naming him in any type of instance is really just helping him, not a deficit to them at all. And if Phil is dumb enough to attack, the fan base will squash him. And which is what AlphaOmegaSin should have done in the first place. He should have let the fan base just handle his ass. But, you know, Alpha didn't mind having blood on his hands, so he still wanted to put in work. And at the end of the day, Alpha still won. I mean, if anything else, I remember in like some tweets later on, Alpha was like, I fucking wasted my time with that bullshit. I helped you out. I didn't get anything out of it. This is how this idiot thinks. And what are you going to do? You're going to respond to PewDiePie? You're going to respond to all these people? And then what? So they can laugh at you and yet again, their fan base is coming and shit you up? Then what? And this goes back to what Howard had said in the John and Howard response, that he don't know how to... He's terrible with PR. At a time when his public image was already in the shitter. And he didn't realize it. So AlphaOmegaSin, as far as I see it, was just a great excuse to blame for all of his faults publicly. Blame all of your failures on him. Throw it all on him for why 2005 was garbage and how early 2006 ain't helping you very much. And go ahead and use that to get more and more sympathy. Or whatever you want to call it. But we'll see as this goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the King of Hate Vlogs, for whatever that's worth. Name dropping, rage quits, and an apology. I.e. AlphaOmegaSin. This is from February 19th of 2016. The link will be in the description. Defiant Sniff. Here we go.
Going to be talking about in this video is a specific occurrence that happened earlier this week that really left me heated, insulted, upset, because it's completely and utterly false. And anyone who may have heard this kind of out of nowhere might say, wow, that's true about Darksydephil. Well, I'm certainly not going to watch his videos anymore, especially in regards to what I've been covering this past week. So allow me to explain the situation to you. First off, before I get started, I want to let you know that moving
and here's another
forward,
thing too. You're trying to reach out to a group of people who don't even watch you. Like, that's the wild shit. And don't be wrong, you should look at any potential viewer as someone who joins your viewership. But that's not what Phil's actually going for. Phil's looking to try to convert these people into his fan base. And you're essentially trying to target people who aren't even in your demographic, who don't watch you anyway. People who watch AlphaOmegaSin, by and large back then, probably didn't watch you. Some of them probably used to watch you, but had given up on your bullshit a long time ago. and they just are now hearing about you again. And if so, they probably had a negative connotation of you beforehand, and they're like, oh, Phil hasn't changed worth a damn. But let's go over there and see how big his channel may have gotten. Oh, it ain't shit? Oh, like the way I left it? Oh, well, then what's the point? You exposed yourself. You fucking exposed yourself. You defended a castle that was already burning. And all the wheelchair symbols couldn't put it out because their wheelchairs were made of wood too, and that shit caught on fire. You were already losing. Going out there and saying, hey, you used me, and the example you used of me wasn't exactly accurate, you know what I mean, as it pertains to Street Fighter V, that would have been a fair statement to make. Absolutely. But what ended up fucking you is that all those other games that you had been rage quitting. That's what people really slapped you with. That's really what you got, what you end up, you know, getting raked over the coals with. That's the reason why they had a luau with your ass. You sitting here defending yourself on one game that you had already fucked your fan base on for money. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, Project 7 was prominent still here. And remember, he couldn't do Project 7 reboot / in the new Piggy lore, Project 7 trailer, because the stars weren't aligned, and I think it was either the beta, for Street Fighter V was coming out, and he needed to play that. And because this idiot was under the false pretense that Street Fighter V was going to be like the second coming of Super Turbo. Why he ended up getting that, I don't know. Maybe if he actually did some fucking research, he'd know. In any case, so you had already screwed yourself with that. And then, I don't know why you would have thought it would have been the second coming of Street Fighter V when the damn thing was still kind of modeled off of Street Fighter 4, kind of. And we all saw how quickly you were willing to give that shit up. I don't know. Fucking idiot. Absolute fucking idiot. But let's go ahead and see his edited content that, you know, that was going so well on KO Gaming. Even though this isn't on KO Gaming.
Something like this happens, I'm going to make a video about it like this, because when I have a chance to make an edited video, put in the evidence and stuff that basically sticks up for myself and defends myself against ridiculous negative accusations against me.
You mean that, like that 7 years of debunking? Where was the evidence for that? Oh, that's right. It wasn't even your list. That was a detractors list that you pulled off detractor Twitter, right? And read off and said you were going to debunk it with no evidence. It wasn't even your list. You couldn't even take the time to take their list off Twitter and write it down in your own way and try to pass it off as your own. You legit read that shit off of Twitter. And that's crazy because why the fuck are you watching people on detractor Twitter in the first place? 2, aren't most detractors supposed to be blocked? Oh, you got most of them muted. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Which is funny too. Because around the same time, he was saying that, oh, he doesn't pay attention to people on Twitter. He don't pay attention to people on Kiwi Farms, despite the fact that there was already pretty decent evidence at the time. It started off as speculation, but it ended up coming true either which way. That he was going ahead and fucking around and watching and looking at all the threads, or his thread, on Kiwi Farms, as well as Wings. He's been in Wings' I know for sure you've been in Wings' thread on Kiwi Farms, or you have at least read some of it, because Phil will pull up references every once in a while that he could have only pulled off of Kiwi Farms, unless he's actually going back and watching some of the old Wings troll channels. Other than that, he's getting it off Kiwi Farms. I can almost guarantee it, and he's probably using one of his random ass channels because he had like 20 of them to watch the content. But we'll save that. We'll save that speculation for another day.
This is the way to do it. Not on Twitter, not on a pre-stream willy-nilly. And I will publicly admit right now that in this particular situation, I went about it the wrong way and initially started tweeting, and then I talked about it on my pre-stream today. Then I got into a Twitter argument with this particular individual, which I should not have done. I should have known better and just made a video about it to fully explain what was going on.
And the reason why that is because he lost. In the court of public opinion, his dumbass lost because, yet again, he approached the goddamn thing wrong. He approached the situation wrong. He came out there with a whole lot of emotion And he played right into Alpha Omega's hands. Not to say that that's what the plan was, but Jesus Christ, if it was done masterfully. It was masterfully, I should say. Phil fell into that shit hook, line, and sinker. And to be honest, excuse me, it wouldn't have even required a lot of planning because even back then people knew how Phil reacted. It was easy to play him. And yet again, that John and Howard response was in what? Late 2015? That shit was all laid out there. It was something that Phil was known for. He was known to come up out the gates and whatnot, squealing like a pig, reeing everywhere, and trying to swing his little hooves, and not hitting a goddamn thing except for himself. So now we got to do this. It takes him being shitted on by a larger content creator, losing in the court of public opinion on Twitter, to go ahead and start to do edited videos. Wow. It's quite the motivation, huh?
Screwed up. I publicly apologize for that. If you do follow me on Twitter today, you were like, what the fuck is going on?
So is it? Now I think about it, shouldn't we go ahead and thank AlphaOmegaSin for the birth of KO Gaming?
I shouldn't have gotten into it. I should have let it go. From now on, this kind of video will be made to explain the situation, so here goes. Okay, so as you know, I've been covering the release of Street Fighter V all this week, and I really
Wait a second,
am
when
liking...
was KO, I'm sorry, when was KO Gaming a thing? Was that late 2016 leading into 2017, or was that late 2015 leading into 2016? Because he ended up losing his machinima contract in first quarter of 2017. So yeah, so it was late 2015. So he had to start it in late 2015, leading into 2016. All right, never mind. I mean, AlphaOmegaSin may have relit the fire under his ass, but never mind.
the game when it works. We all know at this point, Street Fighter V's launch was a big fail. The online components didn't work. The game was bare bones with almost no features. Just common things that you would expect to be in the launch of a fighting game didn't exist. And everyone has been coming out to be critical of this game, whether they're fighting game players or not. Everyone can have a consensus on the internet and say this game sucked at launch. What the hell happened, Capcom or Dimps or whoever it was that actually developed the game? In
Which
particular,
is true. The problem is Phil kept shitting on it while the game continued to improve and get those add-ons back, which shouldn't have been add-ons. They should have been core aspects of the game. Phil kept shitting on it, right, over the years, kept refusing to play it, while everybody else stuck with it and eventually made money, eventually went to tournaments, ended up getting notoriety, and ended up going on to be champions. That's the real problem with Street Fighter V now. Phil just wants to run around and say it's a shitty game, and all those FGC players out there playing are fucking idiots, and it's because they don't have anything else, and they have no choice but to rely on it, and that's why they defend it. And yet, those guys are still prospering, and Phil isn't. Because remember, just in case you guys don't remember, Street Fighter V was going to be his foray back into the FGC. He was considering, as he talks about it a couple times a year, each year, about maybe going to a tournament, or maybe thinking about getting back into the FGC. Now, in actuality, he's not going to do it. He's not really going to do it unless he can really prove that he can hang. But he can't. His reflexes and reactions are garbage. Eyesight's terrible. And more importantly, he doesn't have any knowledge. If you think about it, he's lost at least one gaming generation, or one Street Fighter generation worth of experience. He's still working off Super Turbo shit. And that shit's going to be eating his... And you see how it goes on Friday nights for Street Fighter? He's slowly but surely losing that war. Slowly but surely. He's losing that war. So, when, for example, Street Fighter 6, if that ever comes out, which it will eventually, I mean, granted, the reason why Season 5 currently even exists is because Street Fighter 6 isn't ready. When that eventually comes out, will Phil play it? Yeah, because he's a bitch. Let's be honest, he's a bitch. So, of course, he's going to go ahead and bend over for Capcom. The problem is that it's not going to probably be any better than Street Fighter V. And let's say, for example, he really does attach himself onto it and he really likes it. That's when all the killers are just going to come back out. So if you think that, if you think the fucking Friday night beatdowns that he takes is bad, wait until Street Fighter 6 becomes a thing, and he's going to want to play it, especially, like I said, if he builds an attachment to it, and watch and see how all the other killers come out for that shit. There are people that are... You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, Because I've noticed for quite a while, certainly with the rise of goji tanks, but it's been a thing for a while. I just think that it's become more prominent over the last couple months, is that it's slowly but surely, there is a detractor community that is forming around Street Fighter, within the detractor community, I should say, or fans of the detractor communities, or viewers, if you will, whatever, however you want to look at that part, that is slowly but surely forming, and they're all pretty good. And more importantly, they're all consistently they're consistently getting better. I don't know if they're training with any of them. I don't know. I don't know about those particulars, but they're certainly getting better as a whole, as well as you're seeing individuals really starting to branch out. Excuse me. When Street Fighter 6 becomes a thing, Phil is going to be screwed, because now you're going to have a dedicated group of people out there just to hunt him down. And then what is he going to do? Is he going to go ahead and de-rank himself, so to speak, or just or leave rank altogether and just stay in casuals so he can continue to play? So he doesn't have to worry about losing his precious rank and try to search for scrubs like that? That's not going to work. Not forever. Especially not in casual, because then it won't affect anybody. They can all, as long as they can get into a lobby with him, he's screwed. And then what is he going to do? He's going to just keep running over and over and over again? It's not going to be good for him, man. It's not going to be good for him. Shit, what you see on Friday nights every once in a while could very well be the ebb and flow for years to come, depending on how well he takes the Street Fighter 6. Just keep that in mind.
The person who I have to
big
address...
ups to, Evil AJ, Goji, Jose, and, the usual suspects, which the list is growing, so I'm being told.
In this video, made a video earlier this week regarding the botched launch and the very shoddy, not very plentiful features of Street Fighter V on its launch. But in the video, decided to make an insult and a reference to me as a name drop during this segment where he's complaining about one of the shortcomings of the game. It's completely false, 100%. I have the evidence to prove it, and I'm going to talk about it right now to clarify. Then after I talk about it, I'm going to tell you what happened today, which is my fault, and then we're going to get this all sorted out. So the person who I'm talking about is AlphaOmegaSin on YouTube. Now, to make this clear, I don't watch the guy's videos. I don't know much about him. I know who he is, and I know the style of video that he makes, but I certainly am not a follower or anything of him. In fact, I'm not a follower of anyone on YouTube.
Okay, you don't know him and you don't know who he is, but yet you obviously know he has influence. You obviously know his sub count, and that's the reason why you're addressing him. So you do know who he is. So you do know who he is, and you know what he does. Just because you don't watch him, allegedly, or you don't follow his content, allegedly, even though when you look at some of his rants and some of Alpha's, it's like, I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying it looks like Phil may have poached from him too. But you don't know anything about him though, right? Alright, whatever. Let's continue. Fucking idiot.
Clear over the years, I'm busy with my own stuff. I really don't watch YouTube videos. I just am too busy making my own, okay? In his Street Fighter V rant
and this
video
dumbass really thinks people believe that. That's hilarious. You're on a platform with millions of people, hundreds of millions of people probably, and you're telling me that you're not watching anybody else. When you upload videos, there's no videos in your recommendations. You're not watching anything that pops up on your feed. Nothing. You're telling me that you're just unsubscribed to everybody, right, Phil? You don't watch anybody, right? So what's the point of being subscribed to anybody? So your subscriber list should be just empty, yeah? That would be a thing, right? Because you don't have time to watch anybody else? Yet, funny enough, you keep jumping on all of these trends that are popular or that are doing well. And I'm sure that when people link videos on Twitter, you're watching those videos, right? So you are watching other people. You know what? Whatever. I'm just lying about stupid shit just to do it.
This game was unfinished at launch. For about a 30-second period, he addresses rage quitters. Now, you can watch word for word what he says for yourself. I'm actually going to put a link to his video in the description of this one, so you can go watch for yourself. And by the way, wow, I don't care if he gets a couple thousand extra views off of this. Who gives a shit? I need to have the evidence shown right there. Pure.
You think he's going to get extra views off you? Oh, aren't you just an ignorant son of a bitch? Absolutely ignorant son of a bitch. You, first off, Phil, you ain't sat there and embarrassed yourself on Twitter. So people already went back and saw what he said. But you think off this little video right here that he's going to get a couple of thousand more views off you? Oh, you're helping AlphaOmegaSin out, huh? What an amazing piece of shit.
3 minutes and 30 seconds and goes on till about the 4-minute mark. I'll summarize, but you can watch it word for word out of his mouth. His summary is this. Street Fighter V doesn't have a feature that punishes rage quitters. Anyone who you're playing against in Street Fighter V can just quit the match right in the middle, in particular if they're losing and they don't want to lose or have the loss count in an online ranking system, and no one gets punished. So right now, Street Fighter V is rife with people who are playing, oh, I'm losing the match, they pull the plug, they quit the match, and it doesn't count. Now that's unfair to the person who's winning the match, and it basically makes right now online play for competitive purposes kind of pointless. You can't trust the ranking system in the game because of this. Now, that's the shortcoming of Street Fighter V.
So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that because people rage quit, you can't determine who's good and who isn't? Yet, more often than not, Phil, if someone outranks you, they more than likely were going to hand you your ass anyway. That seems a bit minute. I get the point, though, but it seems a bit minute in the grand scheme of things. Because I've seen you play against people who are lower rank in multiple fighting games, and you still got, literally still got your piggy shit pushed in. So, you know, maybe you should just treat every opponent just as an individual and not worry about what ranking looks like in the first place. Because that doesn't necessarily determine skill, whether rage quitting is a factor or not. You've been in the FGC long enough to know that. Matter of fact, there are rants of your dumbass sitting there talking about all these no-name players that are coming into the FGC, especially around Street Fighter 4, and just handing people their asses. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? He just came out of nowhere. No one knows him. How come he's winning all these matches? Why is he getting all this notoriety? Remember that? You remember those dumbass rants, Phil? I do. Pepper's Farm remembers. So, what's your point? You're stupid. so stupid. Oh my god. Piggy stupid. Just absolutely silly. Just you're not stupid, Phil. You are stupid, but you're silly. You're just piggy silly. That's all. Wow.
In his video. However, how he goes about it is completely wrong and erroneous. He says that rage quitting is an issue in this game. He says, don't you hate it when you're playing a game online and you're fighting someone and there's a guy who he's losing and he's making all these fucking excuses and he won't take credit for his loss. You know, it's never his lack of skill or whatever. There's always an excuse. And then they pull the plug. You know, like the Darksydephil. Don't you hate
to
when he
be honest with you, despite what you may or may not want to what you may or may not think about that situation, everything leading up to like a Darksydephil is still somewhat accurate. You've never been man enough to take a loss. You've never been man enough to just not give any excuse and just come to the realization that, oh, this guy just outbeat me. Or outplayed me, I should say. You've never really been good at that. That's never been a strong suit. It's one of the things that you're known for. It's one of those very aspects that leads to rage quitting. Hence the reason why he chose you in the first place. So even if that you didn't fall into the actual qualification of rage quitting in Street Fighter V, all of the attributes that he named leading up to the rage quit does fit to you. Pinpoint. And the fact that you decided to choose that hill to die on makes no sense whatsoever. And here's the thing, Phil. AlphaOmegaSin is someone that you don't know. You don't watch any of his content. Why the fuck are you worried about what he has to say? Oh, because you see that sub count, right? Just like you look at the battle points or the battle experience that people accumulate in fighting games online, and that's how you judge them, right, Phil? Okay. It's like thottery before thottery, if you think about it. It's FGC thottery.
On the end. Now, that's paraphrasing. But basically, that's the segment he talks about. Then he goes on to explain how there's no punishment in Street Fighter V for rage quitters, okay? What is wrong with this statement? Very simple. I have never rage quit, period.
Yet again, you yet again, AlphaOmega could have picked a better example. No one's gonna dispute that. Here's the thing, which your lack of self-realization is just, it's oozing out right now in such a way, just like the bacon grease down the toilet. The lack of excuses, not the lack of excuses, I'm sorry. The excuses, the lack of accountability, the general bad behavior that you exhibit when you lose matches is what leads to rage quitters and leads to rage quitting, which is one of the prominent symptoms, if you will, that leads to the very epidemic, which is rage quitting. You exhibit all of those, and you've been known to rage quit, not just FGC games, but games in general. Yet again, there were better examples to pick, absolutely. But for you to sit here and cry about, he accused me of rage quitting in Street Fighter V, and that's not true, and then you want to go ahead and put a bitch fit publicly, only to have people throw out examples at you and for you to be embarrassed, hence leading you to having to make an edited video to try to defend yourself. Maybe you just approached all of this wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't defend yourself. I'm saying don't be like Darksydephil here, and fuck yourself all to shit for no goddamn reason. It's not worth it. It's really not. He could have shrugged this shit off and kept it moving. Under reasonable circumstances, the attention that he was going to get would have spoken for himself, wouldn't it? Isn't that, I'm sorry, it's fucking early. Isn't that the same example he gives where he gives now in our current timeline about, oh, people say my streams are so horrible and how I treat everybody like shit over here and I don't respect anything and I'm just begging you guys for money, but if you come to my streams, then you guys can see it for yourself. Isn't that what he says now? Well, Jesus Christ, Phil, if he went ahead and made an accusation about you in such a way, wouldn't people have just come to your videos and actually seen it for themselves? I mean, it's not like you're known for editing anything, so theoretically it's all in there. And even if they didn't find the rage quits, Phil, which might have validated you on that point, how were you going to explain everything else? How are you going to explain the bad behavior, the shitting on the people who beat you, calling people scrubs to the people that you do beat, all the excuses you come up with when you can't win, and when you don't win more often than not? How are you going to explain that away? And that's a whole nother argument in itself, an argument that you can't win, an argument, arguably, that outweighs the rage quitting. Rip.
Now, people will make all kinds of arguments that we're going to address. I told you I'm going to have concrete evidence. The first thing I'll address right up front. But Phil, you've quit games before. You've gotten very angry. It was just recently you were angry at the Bloodborne DLC and you quit it before you even beat the first boss and all that. That has literally nothing to do with the conversation. This conversation is in particular when it comes to Street Fighter V, online gameplay,
actually,
and rage quitting.
Okay, so you want to go with... Let's let him talk.
Out of a match. I have never done it during a match that was serious. And what I mean by that is you will find one
I've never done it during a match that is serious. And you're going to cite what? That alleged April Fool's video that you made? Or whatever video it was. I think it was like April Fool's or whatever. Where you clearly got pissed off and you clearly rage quit. Clearly. That was, I think that was Street Fighter 4, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. You want to talk about that nonsense? You're going to use that as your point of reference. But what about all the points that people had brought out to you at that particular time? What about that? Anyway, let's see his proof first. Because that's the real... that's going to be the real standpoint of all this. Let's see the proof.
On the internet, where I actually did drop out of an online match. I can show it to you right now. In fact, it's playing right here. And it's funny because during this whole situation this week, I kind of came out on Twitter. I said, I've never rage quit. I don't know why people are saying that I've rage quit. And someone posted up this particular video. That video in question is from my April Fool's 2013 special, where I purposely did it as a joke for April Fool's because I never do it. That was the joke, is that, oh God, it's April Fool's and now Phil's rage quitting on people in Street Fighter. So the video is completely out of context. It makes absolutely no sense. Funny how people will steal my content again and upload it on their channel out of context to try to make me look bad, when in reality, it makes sense when it's in context. So if you scour the internet, the thousands upon thousands of fighting game videos that I've uploaded to YouTube, you will never find a competitive match of online gameplay in a fighting game.
A competitive match? Why are you throwing all these stipulations out there, Phil? Either you've rage quit a match or you haven't. You don't get to go ahead and throw circumstances out there. Either you did it or you didn't. If you want to go ahead and say that about your little April Fool's thing there, which if you watch the video, the dude clearly sounds pissed off. And it's not like Phil's the best actor. Whatever. But you want people to go through thousands of matches of you bitching and complaining, which can induce mental gout, to try to disprove you, when most people were throwing out other examples besides that one. What? Oh, boy. Okay.
Pulled the plug and quit out and didn't give someone credit for the win. It just simply doesn't exist. Now, I'm sure people now, because I've said this, are scouring the internet and maybe they'll find one. The bottom line is this.
Maybe they'll find one. I thought you said it doesn't exist in a competitive match. Stipulation number 1. Now you're saying that people are going to actually go out there and they may find one. I thought it wouldn't exist though, Phil. And don't you try to treat every fucking fighting game match you have like it's Evo? Don't you treat every one of them like it's grand finals of some type of fucking tournament? Because if so, why the fuck do you get bitchy? Why do you get bitchy, piggy bitchy, about fucking casual matches, man? Like, why do you treat every fight like it's your last fight? Like, if your heart's gonna explode or some shit. But yet again, you see how we're slowly but surely pushing the goalpost back? First, you're never gonna find anything in a competitive match. First it was, I've never done it. Oh, well, I did it for this April Fool's thing, but it wasn't a competitive match. You'll never find anything in a competitive match if you go through my thousands of rounds, my thousands of matches, if you will, on YouTube. Oh, well, someone will probably go and find one. So either it existed or it didn't exist. And even if they do find just one, ladies and gentlemen, that proves AlphaOmegaSin right. The fact that Phil is already putting in doubt by the stipulation of any competitive match, and then adds on to, if you go back and look, you may find one, he's already killed himself. He's already skewered himself at that point. Someone just needs to put the apple in his mouth and then let's just go ahead and start turning. This is not how you respond to shit, Phil. Either you did it or you didn't. It's like when people call you a fucking liar. Have you lied to us? Oh no, I've never lied to you guys. I've always been straight. I've always been honest. I've always been transparent. Oh, I had to lie because I had to protect my family. You don't get to change the stipulations, Phil. Either you did or you didn't.
Thousands of matches, no one has the right to call me an infamous rage quitter and name drop me and use me as an example of a horrible rage quitter. I'm the complete antithesis. In fact, if you actually watched my videos over the years, you would know I fucking hate rage quitters. I detest them. They're the worst fucking players. They're cowardly yellow chickens. The only reason they're playing the game is to get popular and have that high ranking that really means absolutely fucking nothing in the realm of reality. And
if that's the case, then why do you bitch and complain when you lose matches, dude? If you're saying that rankings are invisible numbers that don't mean jack shit to anything, then why the fuck do you get mad when you lose matches, dude? Why the fuck do you point out, usually, that, oh, look at this loser going ahead and playing all these matches, huh? You know what I'm saying? What a no life. Yet you sit there and you play video games for a living because you can't do anything else. Why do you sit there and call people online scrubs and they use online tactics against you when you've been playing the core game for over 2 decades? You should have seen, I don't expect you to see everything because there's always something being discovered every day. But I would expect you to at least have the fundamentals to at least compete against it. I've seen matches of you getting outright blown the fuck up and out. How do you explain that? But it's all invisible numbers, right? That don't mean jack shit about jack shit. Alright.
People care so much that they were going to pull at the end of a match simply because they got their ass whooped. Now, I've called people out on numerous occasions for doing it in videos. You know, people have gotten in my videos and done it and basically got infamous because of rage quitting. Why the fuck would I rage quit? And how could anyone pull that association?
People have gotten infamous by rage quitting. That's funny because more of the matches that are really infamous and shit are the ones like the Mr. Wonder Waffles. Or maybe it's not Mr. Wonder Waffles, maybe it's just Wonder Waffles. And the the E Honda player that sat there and handed him his ass. Those are really infamous when you think about Street Fighter and about Phil getting blown the fuck up. Those guys didn't rage quit. Those guys handed Phil his ass. And yeah, Phil sat there and took it. But he was talking all that hot shit at first until the tides turned against him. Mainly because both those guys were sandbagging on Phil.
Asshole. And say that I am like synonymous with rage quitting. It's completely
Or what about
false.
that kid player who blew you up and then ran up on you at a tournament and said, "Hey, I'm this guy right here," and you're like, "Huh? What? Oh, I guess I don't remember you, dude." And then 3 days later, randomly, it clicked in that you were like, "Oh, I do know who that guy is." You thought about that person for 72 hours after a tournament? Okay, some random Ken player, right? Here's the scenario. All right, so Phil's playing online, right? So he can have some content for his channel. Runs into this Ken player who just hands him his ass. The circumstances don't really matter. Just he beat Phil. Then fast forward weeks later, maybe even months later, and Phil is allegedly hosting a tournament, and the kid comes up to him and is like, "Hey, I'm this guy right here. I played you in Street Fighter, pretty sure Street Fighter 4, online, and there's a YouTube video of us playing, ha ha ha, whatever. And Phil's like, "Oh, okay, whatever, good for you." And then 3 days after the tournament, Phil's still thinking about him, and then he comes to the realization on who the kid was. Just to let you know how much empty real estate was in Phil's head at that time.
Now, there's two things that I'll address. Number one, why am I bringing this up? Why is it such a big deal to me and my business that I need to bring it up? Very simple. Because right now I'm covering Street Fighter 5 all week. I haven't covered a major fighting game in almost a year with Mortal Kombat 10. And the bottom line is a lot of people don't really know me in regards to fighting games anymore. I fell out. I didn't cover fighting games like I used to way back in the day. 7 years ago when Street Fighter 4 came out, I covered the living shit out of that game. So it's a lot different now, and I need to get my name out there as someone who's covering Street Fighter 5 for my business. I'm playing
it wouldn't have mattered, though. The FGC had already beaten you to the punch on that. And the reason why that is because... and I think it's fair to say that some people took cues from Phil taking other people's content or other people's match footage or tournament footage and uploading it to their channels. Most of those people who became professional fighting game players around Street Fighter 4, guess what? They do what like competitive Call of Duty players, pro Call of Duty players do. They make content on the games that they play. It's not about just going to tournaments and that's it. They actually make content. That's the reason why Optic was a thing. That's the reason why FaZe was a thing, or is a thing, sorry. That's the reason why 100 Thieves are a thing. They're content creators first, and then they're esports pro players second, if you will. The FGC does the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Look at Smug. Look at Punk. Look at Daigo. Look at anybody. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Snake Eyes sometimes. These dudes have dedicated channels, not just the clipping channels who clip their matches and put that shit online, taking a cue from Phil, theoretically. But these guys actually have their own channels where they do their shit. One of the most popular guys, obviously, would be Smug. He's one of the best examples of it. Even Low Tier God, to an extent, when he was going to tournaments. You know what I mean? They became content creators on their own. So they were all, these were names of people who the audience who was really deep into the FGC at the time, that's who they were following. Not some fucking has-been who hasn't been around since like Street Fighter 4, a relic. Phil is hoping to go, because of the volume of videos that he's going to put out, he's hoping he'll be put into the conversation with those people. But even if someone watched the Darksydephil, excuse me, a Darksydephil Street Fighter video and then goes to anybody, you know what I'm saying, goes to Sako and asks him, "Hey, do you know who Darksydephil is?" He'll probably, Sako probably would, my apologies, guys. Sako probably would at least remember the name, but he wouldn't remember the player. It's a bygone era with that. Like, you're not relevant. And you thinking that you're going to be able to put yourself out there, right? And you're going to try to compete with these guys. It's going to be quality over quantity all day. These guys are still going to tournaments. These guys are still relevant because the majority of people who are watching these guys are going to be people who follow the tournament scene or follow the culture. It's not going to be so much about the casuals who are going to come in every once in a while. And even then, they're going to come and watch you. They may give you a couple of matches, or they may watch a couple of your matches. They're going to be realizing, well, you're not really doing anything special. Then they go to someone who's an actual specialist in a particular character, and they're going to just go ahead and keep watching them because they're learning something. They're taking something out of it. When it comes to Street Fighter 4, it was kind of like how it was for Black Ops 2, in the fact that the games were kind of set up. The Street Fighter 4 series, as well, it could be compared to Black Ops 2, where it was a foray to getting into the FGC, whether you wanted to go pro or you just wanted to kind of be known in those social circles. Same thing with Street Fighter 4. Same thing with Street Fighter 5. A lot of these guys are known as just being online players, especially since there wasn't really any arcade games out, any arcades for Street Fighter 5, as far as I know, even out. That's why Street Fighter 4 was such a godsend for Capcom and for the FGC in general. You know what I mean? Because there was a couple arcade machines out, but more importantly, it was online. It was the first Street Fighter game that was online, that was accessible to anybody and everybody. It's the first time you have someone who lives in Kentucky, for example, that can play someone in Korea, in Japan, in China. You know what I mean? In Brazil, in Puerto Rico, in Mexico. It opens up the groundwork. Like, he has to see, here's the problem. He doesn't understand the scope of that type of situation, especially when he just mentioned Street Fighter 4, so he understands the accessibility of it. But you're already way behind the 8 ball. I'm not saying he shouldn't try, because watching his failures is why we're all here. But for him to think that he could just go ahead, that AlphaOmegaSin was going to be enough to stop him from being considered one of the, the foremost content creators on Street Fighter 5 is ridiculous. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, as history has already taught us, he ends up quitting Street Fighter 5 anyway. So, we're fighting for what? He legit chose to die on a hill that didn't mean anything to him anyway. And that's the real point of the whole AlphaOmegaSin thing anyway. They both made a mistake. AlphaOmegaSin could have picked a better target, or a better example, whatever, and Phil ended up quitting the game anyway, as a whole. He quit the game as a whole.
I have plans to continue playing it in the future, and I want people to get excited for me playing this game and come to my channel and check out my videos. If I've got someone on YouTube who has so many people that follow them, saying in a video that I am an infamous rage quitter, that is going to deter people from watching my videos. Think about it.
You're really an infamous complainer, which would have turned people off from you anyway. But semantics.
This guy, AlphaOmegaSin, you watched this video, you never heard of me before, you heard that I'm a terrible rage quitter, all I ever do in every match of Street Fighter is complain and drop from the match, and then you're looking on YouTube for people playing Street Fighter 5 and you see Darksydephil, chances are you're going to say, well, AlphaOmegaSin said that guy's a fucking rage quitting asshole, and you're going to skip the video. It definitively...
Wait, aren't you theoretically, now that I think about it, aren't you already supposedly knocked out of the search ranking because of the bullshit that happened to you in 2015? So... theoretically, you wouldn't come up until a few pages later on anyway. You wouldn't be on the first or second page, by your own admission. Right? Isn't that the lore, ladies and gentlemen? After the situation with Be Awesome 1 and Jackie Chan, and the false copyright strikes and whatever, and then he deleted all those videos, allegedly, according to Pig lore, he was the, YouTube and Machinima told him to delete those videos. According to my own personal theory, he deleted them in panic, and they didn't tell him to do jack shit. But either way, that's what kicked all of his channels out of rankings, or at least DSP Gaming, which is where all the FGC footage is going anyway. So more often than not, the level of discovery for his Street Fighter footage would have been low anyway. Yeah, he's going to catch a look under practicality. It's a brand new game. A lot of people are looking for it. He's going to catch a look. But he's not going to stay up in the high rankings for long. Maximilian's going to blow him the fuck out. Most of the FGC heads, James Chan, fucking, who else? I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like that, but Alex Valle, you know, and then the Street Fighter clipping channels and whatnot, we're gonna blow him out in the span of days anyway. Easy. I've gone to look for Street Fighter footage, for example, and Low Tier God comes up before Darksydephil does. So he would have lost that fight anyway. Sooner or later, someone was going to find him, don't be wrong. But he would have lost that fight anyway. Like you said, Phil, this isn't 7 years ago with Street Fighter 4, where you still had something. You still had some ground. You don't have that now. You had already pissed that away when people told you stop throwing up 30 goddamn videos a day because they can't watch it. You fucked yourself even before that when, allegedly, you had the meeting with Machinima and they told you that, hey, DSP Street Fighter, we can't give you the same lucrative deal as we give you with DSP Gaming, which should have made sense to you why that was the case, because you were putting up way more content on DSP Gaming, right, and a larger variety of content than you were on DSP Street Fighter. You were like, oh, well, if you're not going to pay me the same money as DSP Gaming, then what the fuck do I need DSP Street Fighter for? I'll just throw all my footage over here where I'm making all the money anyway. Which ended up fucking you. Royally. And that's not even hindsight. That's not even 2020. That's just the truth. If you were going to stay with Street Fighter, then keeping DSP Street Fighter available made sense. Excuse me. Because if people want to follow your FGC coverage, they have a designated place to go to watch it without having to worry about anything else. So if they only want to be devoted to that, then that's where they go. Instead, idiot, you decided to go ahead and swamp that up with all the other garbage that you're already putting out, and you fucked yourself completely in the long run. Complete and totally. Phil, ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down for you. I don't need to break this down. You guys aren't, you know what I'm saying? You guys aren't DSP fans and shit. But for the few DSP fans that are out there, I'll break this down to you for clarification's sake. Just off of DSP Street Fighter, if he had stayed with it, and he kept evolving as a player, which he didn't. So he fucked up on both accounts. He could have had a branch for the FGC, even though he's not even in the FGC, he could have had a branch for the FGC right there. And then that's where he could have funneled in a lot of the FGC sponsorship. Hear me out. Watch me work. You think about the fact that this channel is DSP Street Fighter was dedicated strictly to just FGC games. It could be, I mean, yes, it's named DSP Street Fighter, but he could have played any type of FGC game over there. It's going to catch a look by FGC enthusiasts because it's a channel based off of just Street Fighter. And if you've ever seen Phil tag videos, trust me, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that that's dedicated strictly to it. And that's the first thing that they see. And more than likely, it would have happened because DSP Street Fighter ain't hurting after DSP Gaming got fucked. It could still go hard. With that being said, if Mad Cat wants to reach out to him, if Hori wants to reach out to him, there they go. If Broken Tier wants to reach out to him, if any FGC brands in general, if they want to reach out to him, they can reach out to him there. Not only is he's just putting his tournament matches up there, ladies and gentlemen, but he can put up general Street Fighter news up there. Something like not necessarily what Ernesto Lopez Jr. does with Button Check. Not necessarily like that, but just in general, like hot topics on Twitter that maybe he wants to talk about as it pertains to the FGC, he can speak on it there. So even though he's not part of the FGC, people who do follow it, they have a place to go and be like, okay, he's not actually there, but he allegedly has all this experience in air quotes, so let me hear him out on that. And he could have used that as a way to get himself back into the FGC. Mend some of the problems that mend some of some of the bonds that he used to have with people. It gives him a chance to start over. And at that time, DSP Street Fighter was a old channel. That was a really old channel. So it still would have some clout as it pertains to the algorithm and on YouTube. Is the gameplay going to be great? No, not at all. But if you're a beginner and you're not actually in the FGC yet, and you need a way to, and you want to at least try to get in, or you want to at least try to get yourself familiar, Phil's a good start, and then the recommendations will eventually lead you to where you need to get. But this idiot don't have no foresight. You know what I mean? He can't see past his hoof. And this is just one of the many examples when it comes to YouTube, how he screwed himself royally. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to tell you this because plenty of detractors have already done it. He hates streaming. He hates the fuck out of it. If this idiot would have done what he was supposed to do, right, years prior, he would have never had to go to Twitch. He would have, or he could go to Twitch when he wanted to, not when he needs to. Sorry. He would have gone. He would literally only have to stream when he felt like it, and that's Twitch or YouTube. He's on Twitch every day because he needs it. He needs to do it. He has no other choice. He has no other real outlets. And it's the only place that keeps taking care of his ass for whatever reason. But he doesn't even, but even then, even with the quick money and all his bullshit scams and all the nonsense that he does over there, in truth, YouTube is the nest. The nest that he keeps shitting up. The nest that has become literally a pigsty and him just walloping in his own filth. But he still craves, he still reminisces about his success on YouTube and wishes he could go back to it. If he had done what he was supposed to and took care of his brand, then he would have been fine. It was either expansion or extinction. And he chose extinction because he thought about everything in the short term. And that's why he screwed himself. And no one really talks about DSP Street Fighter because that right there gives you an example of how quick he was willing to let that die. But do any of you guys even remember how that shit even came about? Like its inception? It's how it was conceived and then birthed? Quick history lesson. When Darksydephil, the actual YouTube channel, ended up getting hit with a second copyright strike, right? The first one was for like WWE. The second one was like either Ubisoft. I think it was Ubisoft. I keep thinking it was Rockstar, but I think it was Ubisoft. Hit him with a false copyright strike. He went ahead and sent the fan base out there like fucking attack dogs to approach Ubisoft to get the shit lifted. Ubisoft said they didn't even know who the fuck he was, and they didn't issue any strike. They eventually contacted YouTube because they were probably tired of getting harassed by these kids and were like, hey, this guy Darksydephil, we don't know who the fuck he is. They're saying that there's a false copyright strike. Or no, YouTube actually contacted Ubisoft to follow up, and they said, hey, we don't know who that guy is. You know, we have nothing to do with that. So they ended up releasing the first copyright strike, or the second copyright strike. But Phil realized at that point that Darksydephil was vulnerable, because at that time it's really, really hard to get a copyright strike removed, and they don't go away like they do now. So he decides to go ahead and so that's when he does The King Returns, which is a 2-part video, and he introduces the DSP family of YouTube channels. You have DSP Gaming, which is where all of his gaming content essentially was going to go, for the most part. You had King of Hate Vlogs, or King of Hate HD, whatever, which is the vlogging channel that already existed. And then you had DSP Street Fighter, where he was going to put all of his Street Fighter coverage. That one out of the 3 was actually a smart move, to be honest. Because separating the FGC content from his regular gameplay content was a good idea. It legit was. It was a legit good idea. But he fucked it all up over money. And oversaturating his channel. And that's why the guy at Machinima that was allegedly talking to him about that probably came across kind of awkward to Phil, because he was like, well, because that guy can see Phil's stats. If you're already putting so many videos up on DSP Gaming, and you're already putting so much up on DSP Street Fighter, and now you're talking about, we'll give you a managed partnership with DSP Street Fighter, but we're not going to give you as much money. You're going to go ahead and just drop that and then just go ahead and overload on DSP Gaming? How many people are really watching DSP Gaming? And I'm sure the guy said something along those lines, because anybody with some common sense would. But Phil was like, oh, well, you're going to pay me less money over here? I'll just go ahead and throw everything over here, because that's where all the money's at anyway. And the guy was like, well, I don't... whatever, man. It's your channel. If you want, I mean, I don't know if that's the best idea, but if you know, if your fan base is really ravenous for your content, then so be it. That doesn't have shit to do with a detractor, ladies and gentlemen. But that explains why DSP Gaming never hit 200,000, never hit 250,000, never hit 500,000. Just to keep that just keeping that into perspective. Just keep that in mind.
Hurts my business. It's slander. It's completely false. There is no evidence to back this up whatsoever, and I am not going to stand for it. There is no way that I'm just going to sit here and say, well, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it because I'm tired of it. There are so many people who have made me the butt of these jokes on YouTube that I'm the example of the bad gamer. I'm the example of the one who does it wrong. That's why my business has had decline, because I don't speak up and I don't get in the face of these people and say, you're wrong. Now man up and apologize for lying about me. And that's literally...
Apologize to me. They're supposed to apologize to you for a joke, dude? So when Total Biscuit said, do you want to be the court jester like Darksydephil, he was supposed to come to you and apologize for that? But are you not a joke? Are you not something to be laughed at? Are you not something to be ridiculed? Are you not somebody who sits there and rages and acts like an idiot and people only come to you to watch you rage? Which is what Total Biscuit said. Is that not true? And if so, why the hell, God rest that man's spirit, why the hell would he feel the need to apologize to you for something that you display every day anyway? What fucking sense does that make? And this apology fetish of yours is something you've had for a while, which is ironic that he would want everybody to apologize to him, but he very rarely, if ever, apologizes for anything he's done. And trust me, everything he did fucked him over. Royally. But you want everybody else to apologize. And even if they did come out and apologize to you, who gives a shit? Really, who gives a flying fuck if they did apologize to you? The damage is more often than not, the damage is done. And they would just, and so it's not like they would convert over and, oh, well, we can watch Darksydephil now because at least it's been proven wrong. They'll just disregard you and go back to that person anyway. Because they're going to look at that person and be like, well, hey, man, you made a small mistake, or maybe you made a joke that you felt that was a little bit out of line, but you were man enough to apologize about it, so I'm still going to rock with you. Those people aren't going to come over there and watch you anyway. So who gives a shit? You never thought about that, huh? You think that an apology just automatically benefits you in some way, shape, or form. This is the internet. People give out fake bullshit apologies all the goddamn time and don't mean it. And it's because it's the internet. Most people just don't give a shit anyway. That's the reason why most people who apologize don't mean it. You should be old enough and smart enough to know that. And I feel a lot better now that I've had my second Snortbucks. So, yeah. Good for me.
What's happened in this situation is I've been lied about in this video. My name was dropped for no reason whatsoever because it's not valid. If anything, you have to think the reason it was done was to get a rise out of people, so more people will check out this video because he name dropped Darksydephil and talk shit about him. Let's start some drama on the internet, right? Because drama equals views. And that's what appears to have happened. I got dozens of people sending me this video, people asking me what's going on with AlphaOmegaSin. Why is he insulting you in his videos? And I don't know. I've never, in reality, I have never mentioned this guy whatsoever. I don't know much about him.
You know plenty about him, but I'll let him lie in just a second. Here's the crazy part. It's not even crazy, but here's the part that I think should be pointed out. Of the many things that I nitpick, obviously. Is that the very people who are sending him videos are the very people that are in his fan base that are going to rock with him one way or another. Get it? Rock with him because he tilts all the time. Whatever. You know what I mean. But those people are going to have his back regardless. These aren't new people who've never heard of Darksydephil being like, hey, why is AlphaOmegaSin talking shit about you? Those people aren't going to watch his content. The people that are alerting him are people who are already watching and are going to continue to watch. And are obviously so dedicated to him that they're following him on Twitter and they're probably on the King of Hate forums. And they're not going anywhere. That's the point. They're not going anywhere. Those are people that are already under the pignosis, and they have nowhere else to go. He's not appealing to anybody else. Because the very people who are concerned about this who are already in the pig pen with him. Womp womp.
Would I even mention him in a video? I've never said his name before today in a video. So the fact that this happened in the video is a blindsided, basically unwarranted attack against me and my business, and I'm not going to stand for it. And that's why I'm making this particular video, because I want people to understand the situation, to know it's untrue, and I'm not going to be putting up with this bullshit moving forward. Of course, since this whole situation came out, people are now saying other things. Oh, well, a rage quit means other things. It could mean that if you're playing a game and you just stop playing the game because you're angry at something happening, that's a rage quit. Listen, rage quit, the word itself has changed and adapted over the past several years. As gameplay on the internet has evolved, so has the meaning of words. When you're talking about rage quit in relation to competitive gameplay, it's as I described it, being in some kind of a matchup where you drop before the end of the match so that the match result is not recorded, and therefore you invalidate the match. That's what rage quit means. So wait a second,
so you go ahead and quit playing, you let go of your arcade stick or your controller respectfully in the middle of a match and let someone else beat you, you don't consider that a rage quit? Even though that blatantly is. And you think just because they get their points at the end, that doesn't make it any more invalid? It shows a lack of sportsmanship on your part, and it's not a real win for the other guy because you just gave up. Yeah, they'll take the points and win. They'll take the points and leave, but at the end of the day, they didn't get anything out of it because you gave up. So now you're going to try to defend that. Okay, sure. Whatever. Go ahead, champ.
Actually, specifically what AlphaOmegaSin is addressing in his video, that Street Fighter V has no feature to punish people who do this and abuse the system. That's the point he's making. So any other version of Rage Quit, if I quit another game, oh, here's this match of Injustice where I was playing as Zod, and I was mad because the guy was spamming guns against me, so I just walked forward the whole match and let him win the match. That's not a Rage Quit in the way that we're referring to it here. And if you think it is, and you are, I don't care what Phil says, you're wrong. So you can believe whatever you want, and you could be wrong for the rest of your life. What we're talking about here in Street Fighter V is not the same as anything like that. It's never happened.
Your business isn't actually built around Street Fighter, though. You do other content. You remember you're a variety content creator, right? So theoretically, all the rage quitting, and this is what ended up fucking him back then. And someone had pointed this out in a really old post that I found. But what really fucked him over in this argument, right, is this idiot, as I said in my ramblings earlier on about DSP Street Fighter, he did a variety of content. And when you go back and look at those playthroughs, he ain't rage quit a shitload of them. So his main bread and butter, ladies and gentlemen, isn't Street Fighter. It's variety. It's a variation of video games that gives DSP Gaming its variety for anybody and everybody, right? He's rage quit a shitload of games there. And when people went back and looked, they were like, you're sitting here crying and complaining about something that was said about you in Street Fighter V when you rage quit all these other games? Or you've cut all these other games short? Or the real offense that you got 130, 140, 170 parts to a playthrough? You don't think there was something wrong with that? Oh, the meta. The meta is something crazy, man. Crazy.
You never existed, and it's bullshit that people would ever try to associate me with this kind of nonsense on YouTube. Alright, so I was busy this week covering Street Fighter V, and playing it so much, I really didn't even have a chance to address this until after so many people had messaged me about it. Finally yesterday, last night, Thursday night on Twitter, I tweeted to AlphaOmegaSin. A big tweet. I used that Twit Longer website, and I basically said, listen, This is completely unfair and unjust for someone like you who has a big following on YouTube. It's not right for you to be saying stuff like this about me. I don't understand where it's coming from. You're completely wrong. If anything, if you think that I'm a rage quitter, you must have some kind of a casual understanding of online fighting games, because the bottom line is that's not what rage quit means in regards to a fighting game. And for you to name drop me like that in your video is insulting. It's hurtful to my business, and I think you owe me an apology. And if you're a man, you will apologize to me.
Suck a dick.
And
first things first, you can't sit there and demand an apology and then question the guy's manhood to make sure he gives you the apology. Fuck you. Secondly, how is it that you're gonna sit there and say that making false claims or statements about people or businesses, for example, that's what he's implying, is hurtful to the business and is insulting, but yet that's what you do to other content creators? Perfect example, what did Toby Turner do to you? What did Tobuscus actually do to you? Really, what did he do? What did he do out of maliciousness to you? Nothing. Whatever, if Machinima decided to go ahead and throw the trailer for whatever that game was at the time onto your channel, well, they're your boss. They'll put whatever fucking trailers or commercials or whatever on your channel all they want. It doesn't matter whether it promotes the game and it's promoting the person that's in it or not. You're going to get paid for the ad being played anyway. But Tobuscus didn't do shit to you, because that was on your channel just like it was on a bunch of Machinima partner channels. He didn't do that out of maliciousness, yet you try to spin it like that and try to demand an apology. And I would assume you try to demand him to have him advertise on his channel because you like this whole eye for an eye thing. But then again, your eyes were poked out a long time ago. So that's the first thing. Secondly, what did iJustine do to you? Honestly, what did she do to you? She was hosting a video game award show. She's another pretty face that they wanted in front of the camera. What did she do to Darksydephil? Not a goddamn thing. So what warranted you saying that, oh, she probably got gangbanged in the EA executive offices and that's why she got the position? She didn't do jack shit to you, bruh. Not a damn thing. What did she get attacked for? Personal attacks on you, right? What you said was rather hurtful. You know what I'm saying? She brushed that shit off because she's a goddamn champ. But that right there was definitely disrespectful. What did she do to you? What did fucking Mitch Dyer do to you? He gave an opinion about a game. I don't remember Darksydephil being tagged in that bullshit. I do remember you jumping on that hate train and trying to take this fight to him for whatever godly reason that gave you a lot of notoriety, but certainly not in the way you thought it was. But what did he do to you personally? Nothing. What did Sony ever do to you? What did Microsoft ever do to you? What did any of those game publishers or game companies ever do to you? And you slandered the fuck out of all of them. Oh, well, I was just giving my opinion. Your opinion may have cost them a sale. That, in turn, could hurt their business. And given all of the mindless fucking drones that you have around you, it's not too far off of the fucking mark. And then it's funny, when that slander ends up catching some real fucking volume and shit, then you're automatically walking shit back. Oh, it's just my opinion. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Oh, it got taken out of context. If you're going to be a man about it, when you make a statement, you stand to it. You stand by it. You live by that. And you die by that. If not, you had no right saying it. You ever thought about that? No, you didn't. But that's exactly why you're where you're at now. And this is the same asshole, ladies and gentlemen, that cries and complains about how I can't be taken seriously. No one comes to me for advice. No one comes to me for my opinion. But people tune into your streams 300 or 400 at a time every day. Oh, you mean people that are actually relevant. You mean people that could actually help you. You mean that's the reason why you keep appealing to the detractor community, right? That's why you want them to kind of lay off and maybe even try to help you out. Because the very community that you have now are kind of useless outside of the money that they give you until that shit dries up, right? But go ahead. No, the people that I had already named, the situations that I've already named or laid out, what did those individuals do to you? Nothing. And that you attacked them anyway. And those were people. Yeah, there were some corporations and some other ones too, if you want to think of them as faceless individuals and whatnot, so be it. But those people didn't do anything to you. They gave their opinion, just like, or they did something, they took an opportunity that was given to them. It wasn't out with any level of maliciousness to try to hurt you. And yet you shitted on them as if it did. And what apologies did you throw out to those guys? Or to those individuals? Not one. But yet this piece of shit right here has the nerve to demand an apology and then question a man's manhood and then question a dude's manhood behind that, saying that if you are a man, you'll actually do it. Isn't that the same thing he did to John and Howard? And we all saw how that played out. Just in case you guys want some reference to that, all it ended up resulting is in a bunch of drunken tweets, or sorry, drunken text messages to both of those guys that they just ended up ignoring because he's drunk and they don't want to speak to him in that way. So still looking out for him while this idiot right here fucks up everything. And if I had to guess on how some of those conversations went, oh, so, you know, I'm sorry, John, I was just in a bad headspace, man, and you know what happens when I get emotional, and I didn't really mean it, but, you know, I was really hurt by this and that, and, you know, it is what it is, man, and I'll apologize if you apologize. You know, some bitch-made shit like that. Wow. What a fucking jerk-off. I swear, he got worse and worse as time went on. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. He legitimately got worse as time went on. Wow.
Left it at that last night. Okay.
And actually, you know what's funny?
That was
I just thought about this. Because Rich from Review Tech USA gets hit with this too, right? He gets hit with, like, trying to confront every little thing that people say about him. Most of them were traps, meaning that those people set him up, you know what I'm saying, to see how he would react. And they blew his ass right up out the water because it made him look like a total fucking idiot and shit. Happened multiple times. And one of Rich's taglines is that, oh, I've watched Darksydephil for many years and I've saw all of his mistakes and I've gone out my way, not out my way, but I've made sure not to make those same mistakes. The irony of that statement, though, ladies and gentlemen, is he did make the exact same mistakes Phil did. He may have not have done it in the exact same way, but he certainly made the same mistake. Wow. Wow. And the thing is Rich then, and he probably is now to some extent, is just as fucking malicious, is just as angry, and is just as vindictive as Phil is. Well, Phil is worse, by far. Rich probably has calmed down over the years, you know, since he has a child of his own now, and he's raising somebody else's. So he might have chilled out, but he's still, the animosity is there, just like with Wings, just like with Low Tier God. Just like Monday Matt. I understand Monday Matt at current is catching a bunch of wins, if you want to say that. Dancing on the missteps, if I could be generous about that. Dancing on the missteps that Ralph has been making as of late. But that don't make fucking Monday Matt any more of an asshole. That doesn't clear up any of his past discretions at all. Not even close. Yeah, he says he's done stuff to better himself. He's going to his therapist. He isn't drinking no more. He doesn't take this. He's actually doing something outside of online, Uber or whatever it is. He's working. He's actually doing something to better himself. Great. But for people to say that this is Monday Matt's redemption story on the back of someone else is no different than what Phil Burnell tried to do, or Darksydephil tried to do off Pro Jarrett's back. Keep that in mind.
Mistake number one. And I'll tell you right now, I shouldn't have done that. What I should have done, I should have waited to make this video. I didn't. My bad. I should have waited. I didn't. So, number one, 100% I will admit that was a mistake on my behalf. I should not have put that on Twitter. This morning, I woke up, and admittedly, after putting that tweet out last night and seeing some people's responses to it, I got pretty angry because, once again, I was bombarded with this fucking video of Street Fighter 4 that was a fake rage quit from my April Fools, with this fucking video of Injustice, of me not rage quitting, but people saying it's a rage quit, and I'm just like, I fucking had enough. Like, I'm tired because people will try to spin anything to make me look bad at this point. And if it's going to hurt my business, like this definitively will, I can't put up with it anymore. I have to defend myself. So this morning on my pre-stream, again, a mistake. I shouldn't have done this on my pre-stream. I should have waited for this video, but I digress. On my pre-stream this morning, I got very heated. I basically recapped all the stuff that I just told you, okay? I didn't have video corroboration at the time, and I certainly wasn't as calm as I am right now. I was incredibly pissed off, and I was like, there's people who've insulted me on Twitter, and there's motherfuckers who say shit about me everywhere, and I use lots of profanity, and yada yada yada. And ultimately, what I said in the video, which, by the way, you can now listen to for yourself. You'll see how heated I was. It's in the description of this video. I put a link to it, so listen to it for yourself.
People come to watch you rage. That basically exactly what Total Biscuit had said. You know what I'm saying? People come to watch you rage. Phil's sitting here advertising that same rage. He's advertising a mistake that he just admitted that he made, but he still wants you to go over there and watch it. And the thing is, though, too, is the people that he discounts, he believes that they don't understand him. And I think they understand, I mean, it's been proven, really. They understand him better than he even understands himself to some degree. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens when you have no self-awareness. You just admitted to making a fucking mistake earlier on that pre-stream where you sat there and raged and you were so angry. Piggy titties shaking and everything. And now you want people to go and listen to your mistake. Think about that.
I said, I'm not putting up with bullshit anymore. If someone's going to lie about me on the internet and it's going to hurt my business, I'm going to call the people out and I'm going to make a video just like this one to defend myself. Okay? Now, I used profane language. I said, I will tear these people a new asshole and shove it down their throat and all kinds of stuff like that, which meant I'm going to call them out and basically embarrass them in a video. Well, of course, what's going to happen when I use profane language? People are going to now we can twist it again. We got Phil again. We twist that shit on him again and we make it look like he did something else he didn't do. So now, the issue, because of what I said on pre-stream this morning, is no longer if I've rage quit. It's called a misdirection. And that's exactly what's happened here, is a big misdirection. So, oh shit, there's definitive and concrete evidence that Phil never rage quit. So what we need to do now is redirect to make him look like he's bad for something else. So now, people are trying to say that what I said in this pre-stream this morning was a physical threat to AlphaOmegaSin. Like, I was gonna fly out to where he lives. I don't know a fucking thing about the guy. I don't give a fuck where he lives. I'm gonna fly out there and fight him. Like, I'm gonna beat him up like a bully. I'm threatening him on the internet. And that's not what it is. If you listen to the whole pre-stream, you know that that's not what I said. I'm saying I'm calling these people out for lying about me, and I'm gonna make it public like this, in a video like this, so that people know the truth. That's what I said, only I said it with profanity.
This idiot ran around and said that I'm going to rip this guy a new asshole, anybody else like him from now on. That's what happened. It's pretty easy for people to take that as a physical threat. You want another example? I can do that. So, when Superhound did that nonsense not too long ago, where he had Phil taken down like multiple times over the span of like a week or some shit, it was fucking hilarious. Any of you guys remember that pre-stream? Or it was one of those random videos, because I've done it all on the main channel, where he says, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find your information, and you're going to get what's coming to you. Let it be known on the internet right now that I'm going to find you. I'm going to fuck you up for what you did. You're going to pay for this one way or another. Do any of you guys remember that? Any of you guys remember that? He legit put out the edict that he's going to try to find out who Superhound is and he's going to get his information, which means he's probably going to dox him. As well as other things. Or let me give you another one. What about when it's Tevin's fault and he thinks this shit is funny and it's not, and it's going to come back on him? It's going to come back on him. Sooner than later, he's going to get what's coming to him. And I'm not saying it's going to be by me, but he's got something coming to him. Because you just can't go around and keep doing this, man. Did that not seem like a threat? Which is more of that FGC bullshit that people used to run up on his ass about, which is the reason why he's scared of leaving his house. Unless he's with somebody else. And it's only once a week. Which is probably one of the reasons why he doesn't want to take 2 days off. Because Kat's probably going to want to go out and actually do something, and Phil's only safe going out once a day, or once a week. Maybe. I don't know. But either which way. That's what happened. You don't sit there and say, I'm going to rip somebody a new asshole and not assume that that's not going to be a physical threat. You shouldn't be pulling shit like that. And yet again, you're talking about a completely different demographic of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people used to like watching AlphaOmegaSin because people like to see the rage. They like the rage that he put out, and they can empathize with it. He made people want to go out and do something. Maybe not necessarily violent or actual violence or anything, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he rallied people like that who wanted to actually go out and like protest and actually speak up. So yet again, a huge misjump on your part. You can't run around online and keep talking shit and not think someone's not going to call your bluff. You keep running around looking for the devil, eventually you're going to find him. Just like in the FGC. And he didn't learn then. He hasn't learned here. And he doesn't learn now with that whole situation on Twitch. So I've given you 3 different time periods where Phil's done this dumb shit. In the FGC, he did that with the West Coast boys. He did it with Viscant. He's done it with a few guys, to be honest with you. He did it with Triforce. Now, then all of the fucking false threats he had thrown out here on YouTube, and then the nonsense he did on Twitch. And he's never learned. And now he's got to backtrack because he's scared someone's going to come get him. Only feeding into his paranoia. And it don't look good that you sitting here getting so riled up about some shit that you're going to say you're going to rip ass on people who are going to talk shit about you. It don't look good. You sound like a petulant child. And that's how they treated him. But now he's scared that someone might actually come and get him, though. Not AlphaOmegaSin, but he's scared that a fan of his or somebody may run up on him. And he don't want that. So it's funny because Phil says all the time, oh, people want to talk shit behind their keyboards and everything, but if they saw me in real life, they saw me in person, they wouldn't want none of this. Well, Phil, you only leave your house once a day. Why is that, Phil? Why are you so worried? Why are you such a shut-in? Why is it that when you leave your house, you only leave your house with Cat? Why is it that you only go to certain places and that's it? Why haven't you actually taken the time to go ahead and expand and actually see your city for what it's worth? Or even the state? Oh, because some of the West Coast boys still live over there. And they've let that shit go. Most of them probably don't even remember you. But you haven't forgotten. Right? Is that one example? Or you're going to run into probably one of these guys who you ain't talk shit about, or a former fan or whatever in real life, and you don't want no parts of that either. Even though they've let that shit go a long time ago. Those guys have matured. They've gone on. They've started families. They've done shit. They're doing shit. But you still hold on to that. Wow, man. Oh, I wonder what detractors felt like back during this time period. And only if they knew what was going to happen 4 years later. Jesus Christ, man.
That they're twisting now to make it say, oh, Phil said he's going to physically attack AlphaOmegaSin. So here's what happened. I made this pre-stream this morning. I felt much better after I got it off my chest, and basically everyone who was in my stream chat at the time was like, we know Phil's never rage quit, and this was kind of legitimately him getting it off his chest. We're glad he did, and he can get on to Street Fighter. It just sucks that he was so angry, but it is what it is, right? Let's go. I start playing Street Fighter 5 online, and I start getting tweeted by AlphaOmegaSin. Now, obviously, he knows I'm on stream, but he does it anyway, right? Oh, and his tweets, to his effect, he sent, like,
how would he know you're on stream? Like, yet again, this goes back to the Review Tech USA argument. How the fuck are any of these guys supposed to know when you're sleeping or when you're streaming or any of that? Why would they care? Last time I checked, Twitter's on 24/7. Last time I checked, the internet is live 24/7. No one needs to wait on you. Yet again, this is this piggy-tard type mentality that this guy has. Oh, you can only tweet at me when I'm not doing anything, when I'm not actually doing anything. Well, i.e., I'm not sleeping, or I'm not eating dinner, or I'm not shitting. You know, I have to be already on my phone, or I have to already be on Twitter for you to tweet at me. That's kind of what he's saying, because that's kind of what he said with Rich, too.
him out. I mean, just kept tweeting me. So I'm not going to go through every single tweet. If you want to see literally word for word what he said, go check out his Twitter. And I'm pretty sure he didn't delete the tweets. I hope he didn't. Go check him out and you can see word for word what he said. But basically, he accuses me of saying that I am now going to go physically beat up him and everyone else who calls me out on the internet, which, by the way, is not what I said. I didn't say you're calling me. I said you're lying about me. It's one thing to call someone out for something they've done. It's another thing to blatantly lie and call someone something like a rage quitter that they're not, okay? So immediately he's wrong anyway with his tweeting. And he says, you know, I'm going to call, or Phil says he's going to beat everyone up.
Nice Nazi salute there, and the Julie arm.
Then he tweets again, I would love to see this because I know there's a bunch of people who talk shit about Phil, and I would pay to see him beat people up. So, of course, I don't know what's going on. Between me trying to play the game and get matches and stuff, I'm tweeting him back, which I, again, shouldn't have done. And I will even publicly admit and apologize both to the people who follow me on Twitter and to AlphaOmegaSin for insulting him. Because there was a few times I said, man, I didn't know much about you, but if you actually believe this kind of stuff, you must be a moron, and stuff like that. I publicly insulted him because he was insulting me. He was calling me a physical threatening person, like I had threatened to come beat the shit out of him when I hadn't, okay? Then, after going back and forth a little bit, now he says, oh, well, I'll fight you. I'll fight you. I want to fight you. Let's fight. Oh, you're a bitch. You're going to back out. You're not going to fight me. Now, this is almost a bully's mentality where someone's going to come and physically threaten you. If you don't fight them, you're a bitch, right? I've only heard
That's
this
exactly
about
what you said about people in the FGC when you threaten them. Same concept. So what are you talking about? You're accused of that too.
Times in my life. And obviously, I am not going to give into something like that. That's absolutely ridiculous, including the fact that I never physically threatened a guy to begin with. It just never happened. It was me using profanity and, you know, allegories of calling people out on the internet for saying shit to me had nothing to do with physically attacking anyone.
Someone who wrote a check that his ass couldn't cash. Basically. Complete and total coward. Said shit and didn't have not an inkling, did not have an iota of intent to back any of it up. You're going to run around talking about, I'm going to rip ass on everybody who talks shit about me from now on. And then someone actually call your bluff and you ain't got shit to say. Yikes.
Out to this YouTuber's house and on camera, I'm gonna beat the shit. That's ridiculous. I'm not that stupid. I'm way older to be doing shit like that. That's stuff that like a teenager would do because they're young and they feel
really
rebellious.
Don't teenagers go online and talk shit and have no intention of backing it up, which is exactly what you did. So what? Doesn't a teenager or a petulant child go online and go into these pathetic ass rants about silly shit? And then go ahead and jump offline and be like, oh, I couldn't respond, so that makes everything you say invalid? Isn't that what a child would probably do? Probably would do. But, so, I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, what he said what could be implied as a physical threat. But either which way, what he said was certainly threatening in some way, shape, or form. Certainly from a verbal standpoint. So if someone wanted to call his bluff, that's what happened. Now, did AlphaOmegaSin really think that he was going to go over there and fight Phil? No, because he knows Phil's a bitch. He can read Phil. I mean, AlphaOmegaSin can read people. Phil ain't got no heart to him. That's why he walking this shit back now. But then why the fuck did he even say it?
They think that there doesn't matter what happens to them when they go to jail. I got a nice life. I've got a girlfriend who loves me. I got a beautiful house. It's not worth going to jail over someone talking shit about me on the internet, but it is worth it.
That's cute that you said that you have a girlfriend who loves you, but you didn't say, and I love her. It's funny how that didn't happen. You didn't say that, Phil. That's okay, though. It's not that I'm reading into something that I didn't already know, but whatever.
Myself in a video like this. So I publicly admit I went about this the wrong way. I shouldn't have done this stuff on the pre-stream. I should not have been responding back and forth with AlphaOmegaSin on Twitter. I certainly should not have insulted him and gotten into a public argument with him about it. The way that it basically ended was I just told him, no, I'm not going to do it, even though he said that he was going to now do a charity drive, and it would be a charity fight where all money was raised for charity. I told him, I'm not going to fight you. Literally, all I said to him in response multiple times was, I want an apology for you lying about me. Of course, he would never address that on Twitter.
AlphaOmegaSin first says, I'll fight you. Then AlphaOmegaSin says, I want to turn this into a charity event, and the money can go to a particular charity. Fight him, fight him, fight him. You, instead of saying, hey man, I'm done. Hey man, I don't have anything else to say. Hey, this was a mistake on my part. My apologies. You still crying and complaining to him for an apology. If that's not a tard-like move, I don't know what is. You're a special type of idiot for that. You're a special type of idiot for that. I mean, in truth, AlphaOmegaSin should have fucking just let that shit go and just walked away from you altogether. So he has to take his lumps in this too. But you sitting here still demanding an apology. You reacted poorly. You want people to go and watch the video where you reacted poorly, and you're still demanding an apology. Jesus, grow the fuck up, Phil. If you're not man enough or woman enough to say shit online and back it up later on if it ends up having to come there, which honestly, anybody with some common sense can talk it out. But if you're going to go out there and make what can be implied as threats and someone decides to call your bluff, either A, stand behind what you said, or have a conversation where you can talk the situation down. Period. Don't run around and keep demanding apologies. Oh, they attacked me first, and that's the reason why I said what I said. Where's my apology? Don't act like that. Don't. It just comes across really fucking pathetic. If you didn't mean it, just say you apologize and then explain the situation. Pay attention to what I just said. Apologize first and then explain the situation. Don't do what Phil likes to do, where explain the situation and then give a half-ass apology and then demand for days on end that where's his apology. Don't do that. It just kind of makes you seem like a bitch.
He just kept going back to the fact that somehow I physically threatened him and he wanted to fight me. And we've left it at that. After 2 hours of going back and forth on Twitter when I was trying to run a Street Fighter V stream, we kind of left it at that. And at this point, I'm just like, it's so stupid. And I almost get the feeling like the two of us are kind of alike, where we both feel so adamantly that we're so right about the situation that instead of actually like listening to reason or talking to each other about it, that we take our two hard heads like this and we smash them together like two rocks. And last time I found, when I smashed two rocks together like this, nothing ever got resolved. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, there's a lot of people on YouTube that...
All right, Phil, work the shaft. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're gonna blow them, at least work the shaft. Jesus Christ.
That are like that. You know, you get a little bit of an ego when you're on YouTube. I'm certainly one of those people. You get a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You're like, yeah, I'm in the right, so therefore I'm going to keep fighting for it. And you go back and forth. And the bottom line is it should have never been handled the way that I handled it. It should have never gone on Twitter. It should have never been in a pre-stream. It should have just been me talking in a video. And the bottom line is if I didn't lose it like I did earlier today, it would have just been this video and me giving you the examples and not even talking about the second half of it.
Why didn't you just DM him and have a conversation? Like, you're still kind of fucking yourself over by, making this all public. Or why didn't you just do a response video saying that, not that you showed any proof or any evidence of anything in this, but why didn't you just go ahead and make a response video saying that's not what happened? Let AlphaOmegaSin know. I'm going to DM him and we can have a conversation. You went full tard and you lost in the court of public opinion, and now you're trying to back shit off. And it's not working, while still demanding an apology that you're not going to get. And you've perpetually made the situation worse, because now people are going to definitely, I'm sure they did to some degree, are going to keep egging on AlphaOmegaSin. Oh, wow, you're going to let that piece of shit just go ahead and threaten you like that? You're going to let him do that to you? Hey, and AlphaOmegaSin at the time, I think he had a kid. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man, you don't want your kid to be out there in that situation, did you? I don't know if he had a kid around that time, but he does have a kid. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's like a son. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't look good, Phil. Bad optics. Granted, it wasn't nearly as serious as anybody's making it out to be, even the way I'm making it out to be. But it wasn't a smart move on your part either. It could have all been avoided. It really could have. And you even admitted here that all that bravado and ego and shit is getting you in trouble, as it usually does, and yet you still haven't learned. It's kind of stupid. What are you, like 38 right now and shit? So you were 33 when this happened? 34? You still running around making day one wheelchair tardsome mistakes like this? Wow. The same shit that you made in your 20s when you're late 20s, I should say, when you're in the FGC or middle late 20s. That's special, Phil. That's real fucking special.
Publicly admit I screwed up on that front. Okay, so that's the situation going on with this whole thing. So let's talk a little bit more about the future. All right, let's talk turkey, because the bottom line is I know that my business on YouTube has been negatively affected massively by the negative shit that people have put out there about me. I mean, it's pretty obvious that AlphaOmegaSin has never watched my videos and has seen tons of negative montages instead where I'm yelling and screaming and complaining. Since I played Street Fighter V this week, okay, there's probably been maybe 10, maybe 15 or 20 tops of instances of me complaining or screaming at the game, while as of right now, I think I've recorded over 100 videos. So I'll openly admit, yeah, I do it, but it's certainly not the thing you abundantly see. But when you see something in a montage like that, that's only showing you the bad side, you get a bad impression about someone. And quite honestly, yeah, a lot of people like to see me as the whipping boy of YouTube, the guy who is easy to make fun of. He's the easy target because legally, apparently, he has no leg to stand on. He's certainly not going to sue everyone who says something bad about him because he's not rich. And it's an easy target because everyone seems to have gotten popular by doing it, so I might as well do it too.
Wait, you're going to sue everybody who talks about you? What, so like free speech isn't a thing? You're going to sue people over free speech? Yet you say disparaging things, as I've said earlier, about other people, and if they sued you, you'd be crying and complaining about it. Well, all right, whatever.
Really just become an epidemic. And there's obviously nothing I can do to stop it. But what I can do is when I see a definitive situation like this where someone's going to be blatantly wrong and say something that could hurt my business, I'm going to make a video like this one where I'm calm and composed, take some time to get the steam off before I film the video, and then I'm going to show you the evidence in front of you. The bottom line is this: I am not a rage quitter in Street Fighter or any other fighting game. I hate rage quitters. I 100% am against the practice of rage quitting. I'm very disappointed that Street Fighter V does not have an anti-rage quitter feature. And the bottom line is I'm pretty much in agreement with most of the negative stuff that everyone's been saying about Street Fighter V, including AlphaOmegaSin. The only reason I had to bring this up is because I think the way that he name dropped me in his video is harmful to myself and my business, because it is 100% false. It is slanderous, and I'm not going to put up with it. Now, I went about it reacting the wrong way, and I publicly apologize yet again to anyone who follows me on Twitter, to anyone who was on my pre-stream this morning, anyone who was caught up in the drama of the situation, and to AlphaOmegaSin for insulting him on Twitter today, where I do feel that I was in the wrong. And of course, also, if he feels that I did physically threaten him in my pre-stream, which was not what I was saying I'm going to make a video like this to disprove people and tear them a new asshole in a video so that I can defend myself, because the bottom line is I can't continue to have constant slander against myself and my business and just say, oh, just let it go, because I have. Again, this is the first time I'm really bringing up a major YouTuber, and you know what I mean? I have to at this point. I have to start doing it. I cannot operate a business and have it to continue to thrive when common people coming to YouTube who don't know who I am immediately get a negative impression of me because people are literally talking shit that's untrue about me constantly, you know? And it's funny because there's always a thread of truth, right? There's always a thread of truth in the things that people say. Yeah, I do complain when I play Street Fighter because I'm one of the few people who will call out the bullshit of the game developers with their bad netcode.
No. Fuck you on that. You sit there and you fucking accuse the other players of cheating, using lag tactics, using online tactics, not actually being good at the game. That's the shit that people really get heated about. You sitting there complaining about the mechanics of the game or whatever, that's you just trying to suck off the Street Fighter hate train that was going on at that time, and for good reason. That's you trying to appeal to them. Fuck you. Stay honest to what the situation is. You bitch and complain every time you lose because you're not very good. And people are tired of it. It's amusing to an extent, but more often than not, it just comes across as what it is. Pathetic. That's what the real crutch of it is, I think. And it should be. Not this bullshit misdirection you're trying to do now.
Connect reactions, I will call out nonsense when I see it. The bottom line is, I am a tournament-worthy player in Street Fighter. I have been. You cannot deny if you look at facts. If there's actually people, and this is a perfect example.
Yeah, because one of those people are me, but you're a tournament-worthy competitor. Everybody can be tournament-worthy if they're willing to put the time and effort in. Or if they just have natural talent. Because anybody can go to a tournament, you fucking idiot. Not everybody can go to an invitational, like SBO, Super Battle Opera. You have to fight for those outside of the people who were selected to go. And you weren't one of them. So that doesn't necessarily make you tournament worthy, does it? Tournaments are, unless invitation only, right? Or qualified only, anybody can go. Even Evo. So anybody is tournament worthy of going to a tournament. Excuse me. Anybody's tournament worthy. Outside of invitationals. The fuck are you talking about? Why are you trying to make something prestigious that's available to just about everybody?
People on the internet who think I'm terrible at Street Fighter. That there's no Street Fighter I've ever been good in. That I'm a scrub. And I only got famous by complaining in videos. Nah.
Yeah, kind of. But I will say that I think you're not as... Well, not even that. I think I know. You're not as good as you say you are. And you're not as good as people try to say that you are. That's proven. Pure and simple. And one of the things that you have done to diminish whatever type of notoriety or clout or reinforcement of your abilities was running around for over a decade saying, I took 4th place at EVO in a shitty port. And then the years after that, when they brought the real ports back, you know what I mean, that ran at the right speed, allegedly, your tournament results didn't match up. It didn't match up at all when you went to EVO. 4th was the highest you ever made it in a shitty port for the PS1. Everything after that proved exactly what the pro players at that time said about you. You're not that good. You're really not. And they were right. Yes, he has won some EVO qualifiers. Keyword, qualifiers. Or he's placed high at some qualifiers. Yes, he's won some tournaments. And I'll even go as far, because I have no reason not to admit it, yes, he has beaten some very prominent people in Super Turbo. He wasn't able to mimic that in other fighting games that he played that he got bodied in. And he damn sure ain't doled out thousands, and hear me when I say this, thousands of dollars he's doled out in money matches that he's lost. But that's all extra. That's all the extra yummy goodness that comes out of these buffets. Let's step back to just our Snortbucks Coffee order, right? Yes, he has won some EVO qualifiers. Yes, he's placed highly at some EVOs. Yes, in Super Turbo, his bread and butter, in Super Turbo, he's beaten some notable people. Never won, but he's never won an EVO. And ladies and gentlemen, all those tournaments he went to, all those EVO qualifiers and everything, all of that leads up to EVO. That's the big dance. And he failed at least 3 years in a row. Maybe 4. But he certainly failed in 2005. He failed when he went in 2006. And he failed when he went in 2007. You look at the tournament results, his placement declined as the years went on. Kind of like everything else that Darksydephil does. So if it wasn't for that EVO port, if it wasn't for that port in 2005, and if they put a real port up there, he probably wouldn't have even placed as high as he did. Because the year after that, in 2006 and in 2007, proved that. He's not as good as he said he was. There were people back then calling him out on that bullshit. Yeah, there were people that were trying to support him and whatnot, and there were people who wanted to put him up there as a top player, but he wasn't as good as he says he was. He wasn't as smart as he thought he was. He wasn't as talented. And his tournament results prove that. That is something that cannot be denied. That isn't detractor logic. That's the truth. That's the reality. That's what happened.
I was a a former Pro Street Fighter player. I placed at EVO Nationals, as well as won multiple EVO qualifiers, as well as traveled the country for years playing Street Fighter and placing top in tournaments, right? This is all factual stuff that if you go to
didn't win those tournaments though. You placing in top 10 is one thing, which is what he's saying. He didn't win all those tournaments. So, yet again, that's the 4th place finish at EVO, yet again being expanded to, oh, well, I used to travel the country and I went to tournaments that I placed highly in. You didn't win them. You just placed highly in. Most of those tournaments, if you go back and look, he wasn't even in money contention. So, if you want to run around with your little 10th place finish or your little top 8 finish and didn't even get any money out of it, go ahead. Help yourself. Does that cover your trip there? Did it cover the flight there? Did that cover the time you took off work? Oh, of course it didn't. That's why you ran up all those credit card bills. And YouTube had to pull you out of that. So don't come to me with some top place finishes and shit. Don't give me that.
Or you go to tournament result websites, you will find my name in tournament results. But people don't look at that. They just hear Phil sucks at fighting games. And they take that as fact. Because I never stood up in a video and said, here's the evidence that I don't suck. You're just listening to fucking nonsense and jealous people or nasty people or whatever the reason that they're making this video to make themselves popular. I don't really give a shit. The fact is, it's slanderous
How the fuck
stuff.
are you not going to give a shit when most of the videos that were made or most of the radio snippets that were taken from EVO champions or taken from people who go to those tournaments too? Not only that, but went to those tournaments and won them. And they were like, yeah, Phil's not that great. Or Phil's not that good. Or he's certainly not as good as he says. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about it, and this should be said, by the way, when you think about those who are on the tournament scene, at least from what I've read, and from the few people that I've talked to, what you do, you playing online and you playing in tournament are 2 separate levels, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just 2 separate levels. There are 2 separate plateaus that you have to work yourself towards. When you go to the tournament scene, you're literally playing the best of the best. As Street Fighter 4 became a thing, that's when the real animals came out. Because you had the old guard essentially having to fight the young lions to hold their place. Here's the situation as it pertains to Super Turbo. Especially back in the day that Phil talks about. Not to disrespect the Super Turbo community or anything like that. I'm just calling it what it is. You're pretty much playing the same people. Essentially. It's just like any tournament. The people who travel are the people that are the ones who are passionate about the game. More often than not, most of those guys have won EVO tournaments. Like, they've won EVO for Super Turbo. Most of them have. Or they were like the front lines against Japan, because Japan was coming over and taking people's money year after year after year. There's plenty of bitching and complaining out there about that. Phil's one of them. As if anybody should be surprised by that. But when you look at when you actually look at if you want to go by accolades, because that's what Phil's kind of talking about right now. You look at Phil's accolades and his accomplishments compared to other people, he's basic. He is, let's say not basic. He's slightly above average. He is slightly above average. If you think about the tournament scene. Now, yet again, he's had some notable wins. For sure. Absolutely. No one can take that away from him. He's beaten some well-named people. But when it mattered the most, he didn't. When it was crunch time, and it was time to get shit done, he couldn't do it. So beating Justin, for example, he's beaten Justin at an EVO qualifier, by the way. Beating Justin at an EVO qualifier is one thing. He can have that. I ain't even mad at it. But when it's time to go ahead and face Justin or Diago at EVO, that didn't happen. He didn't even make it to them. And if he had, he would have lost anyway. There are levels to this shit, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care who it is that says it. He's not as good as he says he was, and he not as he says he is, and he wasn't as good as he said he was. And there are some really notable names out there that will tell you that. And some of them were trying to be generous. Some of them weren't trying to be complete and total assholes because they know how much this means to Phil and whatnot, and they didn't want to completely crush him. But the truth is the truth. He's been playing all these years, and he really don't have nothing to show for it. The only thing he can tell you is, I've been playing all these years. And I have some placements. That's kind of it. And he's beaten some notable names. But those same notable names have gone on to win EVOs. They've gone on to win big tournaments. They've gone on to place at big invitationals. Phil doesn't have any of those accolades. What's the point? Like, really, what's the point? I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, an accomplishment is an accomplishment. No one can take that away from him. But you can't keep throwing it up into people's face and not having some asshole that's going to want to pick at it. End of story. And here's the thing too, that because I like spending some time on some of this. That when Phil was running around talking about 4th place at Evo, 4th place at Evo, 4th place at Evo, for people who weren't familiar with Evo or weren't familiar with the circumstances, he never brought up shit. He never brought up not a goddamn thing about that port. He just said Super Turbo. He never brought up a goddamn thing about that port. It wasn't until years. I mean, obviously people in the FGC knew because they were there or they heard directly. But he was spouting that bullshit on YouTube. He wasn't talking about that. People had to go and look that up. People had to go back and verify. And it's only been in recent years that he admitted, oh, that port wasn't that good. Or that port wasn't the same and whatever and so on and so forth. But I still took 4th though. I was still the top ranked North American player that year. And a garbage port that didn't mean shit to anybody. And got cleaned up by 3 Japanese players who didn't even know what that port was. They survived, they adapted, and they overcame. Phil had time to grind that shit out, and he still lost. Lost to one of them, Taquito, playing the same character. And Taquito, by leaps and bounds, is fucking smarter than Phil. I mean, I'm just talking about, like, Taquito's a certified genius. Like, academically, he's a certified genius. Like, Phil could never compare to him intellectually. So there's no way he's gonna that Phil can compare to him from an FGC standpoint, because if you go back and watch Taquito's FGC story, in the arcades you have to go through the gauntlet, to fucking go through the fucking gladiator pits that builds champions over there. Phil wouldn't have survived over there. I'm gonna say this because I got a lot of love and respect for this guy, but Kevin Hart traveled to some of those same arcades and got his shit pushed in, got handled over there, but he learned, and he got better. Phil wouldn't have been able to do that. Phil would have been so quick to go to the very bare basic shit that Phil usually goes to, race, that and all the advantages they have that he don't have, that it wouldn't have even mattered. He would have lived on the morals, if that means anything. He would have lived on the morals of his excuses instead of trying to get better, which is something that Phil does anyway. That is a classic Philism. So he didn't put the work in Taquito had. He didn't go through the experiences Taquito had, for example, and he wasn't nearly as smart as Taquito. And he got played. And Japan came over there that year. They took their money in that shitty ass port and they went back home. Came over to the U.S., knocked all the motherfuckers' blocks off, no disrespect, but knocked everybody's blocks off and went home and spent the wealth. So to speak. And it just goes to show, having Phil as your last line of defense doesn't mean much. Just putting it out there.
And that's the problem, is now there's this big mentality that I'm bad at everything I do. I'm bad at Street Fighter. I'm a rage quitter. What else could it be? There's been so many negative things said about me. I mean, preposterous, insane things, but people believe it. And I'm not going to sit here and be the bitch of YouTube anymore. I'm going to stick up for myself. If I hear preposterous shit from someone out there who has some kind of a voice and some kind of clout, and it's going to definitively hurt me or my business, you're going to see a video like this in the future. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that. Undoubtedly, this will probably be talked about that I made this video. At least now you have my side, you have my factual evidence to prove that the things that were said about me are false. Obviously, everyone's going to make a judgment for themselves. There's still going to be people who refuse to believe the truth, even with the facts in front of their face. I can't help it, but at least if I get my side of the story out there, you don't have to hear it from the same people, right? Constantly harping on me and saying negative shit. And since I don't say it, the bottom line is silence is consent. A lot of people always kind of said that around the world. Silence is consent. If someone does not speak out against something, it means that they're okay with it. Well, I'm not okay with it. It's just that I don't want to spend all day, every fucking day, making a video like this. I've got games to play. I've got videos to make. And quite honestly, I don't want this to become the entirety of who I am, sitting here defending myself against ridiculous accusations. But in a case like this, I have to, and I'm not going to go crazy on Twitter or pre-stream. I'm going to leave it for a video, so that way it all gets fleshed out properly. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope that this clarified the situation. I once more will apologize for going about it the wrong way and saying things that may have been hurtful to anyone. Sorry, I'm going to do better, and this is the way I'm going to handle it from now on. Thank you for watching. See you later. Hello, everyone. Phil here.
That's fucking ridiculous. Holy shit. That face right there I think is a perfect representation of what this all was. This was a fucking farce. That shit was an absolute fucking farce.
Hello, everyone. Phil here.
Yeah, let's shut that up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. That was part 2 to the Darksydephil versus AlphaOmegaSin situation. At the end of the day, no one really won, but Phil just made himself look like a fucking idiot for no reason. They both kind of did, but I don't know. It was dumb. Like, Phil just handled that poorly, and he made a bad situation worse and didn't get anything out of it. Got nothing to show for it. All right, whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a chance to kind of clean up a little bit, and then we will reconvene for final thoughts, and I'll let you guys go with your day. Oh, nah. It's ridiculous.
Hey, yo. I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act no problem, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with finest. Loose off of Jen Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey. And the felt of the velvet, I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot.
Oh my god. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the accusations against Phil about how good, or debating how good he is at Street Fighter, has been going on since like 2005. This video was 2016 and he's still trying to defend that shit. Goddamn, Phil, I thought you had a nice house. I thought you had a girlfriend that loved you. You can't think of anything better to do than defend some bullshit that happened to you 11 years prior? Alright, whatever. As amusing as the situation was, ladies and gentlemen, and it was amusing, it was unnecessary. Neither side got anything out of it. Years later, these guys had a bit of a confrontation on Twitter where AlphaOmega said he may have said something along the lines that he kind of made him relevant, or he put some spotlight on him. I can't remember what it was. It doesn't even matter. But yet again, both men should have stepped away from this bullshit. It was stupid at the end of the day. Like I said, AlphaOmegaSin could have picked in a better example. But the premise was at least somewhat accurate. Phil handled every situation Phil Brunel's in poorly, and he made himself look like an asshole. End of story. There is no getting around it. There is no fixing it. There is no changing it up. There is no misconception to any of it. That's what happened. That's what happened, and he made himself look even more weak than he was before the accusation that Alpha Omega threw at him. He just made himself look worse, and at the end of the day, that shit still chaps his ass. And this thing that he has, right? The apology fetish is already funny, and him defending his fucking FGC fight record is already hilarious in its own right too. But the fact that this idiot right here still has the nerve to it's bad PR. Like, he still don't understand how to talk to people. And the thing is you can understand why people would say that, oh, well, it sounds like a physical threat, because when Phil can't get over with words, the first thing he does is go to false threats. And like I said, he's gone through that currently within the, well, not currently, but not too long ago, a couple months ago, with Twitch, with those false copyright strikes and DMCA shits. He's gone through that through the FGC, and he's gone through that on YouTube to some degree. And he still hasn't learned, because that's just what his mentality is. And especially back in his FGC days, there were plenty of times, not plenty, but there's a couple of instances where Phil really could have gotten fucked up. Because Phil was talking that hot shit, and he was talking about bringing this shit to the streets, and dudes really were out there ready for it. And Phil could have really gotten himself screwed up. And not just that, but Phil could have gotten other people fucked up too. Because Phil had himself a little crew running around at the time, so to speak. He could have gotten some of them guys in a real bad situation too. And what was Phil gonna do? Give a sad little tribute like he did it with T. Carter? You gotta think about stuff like that, man. And he never really, and he don't have a crew now. So now when he makes those fucking threats or whatever, it's all just him. And then he wonders why all these bad things keep happening to him. Like I said, man, he's someone who, he doesn't have any realization of what his situation is or how the world works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude, this isn't middle school and shit. This isn't high school. You know what I'm saying? This damn sure ain't college. You got guys out here now, and it's been like this for a while, who fuck the fist fighting, man. The first thing they want to do is go to gunplay. The beating is merciful compared to what could happen later. And shit's getting even more sadistic. And that's why he locked away in his little fucking snort fort. Because he knows what's out there. And he don't want none of it. And it's good to not want that. Because you sound like a fucking idiot threatening people online, man. And you've done it so many times that you should have learned the first time. He wasn't 19, 20 when he was doing this dumb shit. He was well into his late 20s, mid-late 20s when he was doing this shit. Now he's in his, late 30s, and he's still doing it. He hasn't learned. He really hasn't. He thinks he can just say it and then he can walk away and that's it. And that's not how life works. And yes, with time is supposed to come maturity, but you're not showing that maturity. You're quick to show the maturity when shit starts to get too hot. Then all of a sudden you want to try to be the mature adult and everything like that. But when the ignorance is just going around, you're okay trying to play with it, thinking that's gonna make you seem tougher than you really are. If any of you guys are a Darksydephil fan, you need to let him know he's not hard to get at. And I'm not saying that as a threat. I'm not saying that to promote anything. That's just the truth. He's not hard to get at. He's not hard to touch. And if anybody wants to step over that tightrope or step over that line, they can. And he's very fortunate that hasn't happened. Because if you see the shit that Wings of Redemption, Jordy deal with, that's people stepping over that line and they just haven't taken it to the point where the knife or the gun's been pointed into his chest. But Wings has definitely had some scary ass moments. But they haven't brought it there. I'm hoping they don't. But Darksydephil can't sit there and talk about he hasn't had it as bad as some people. There have been people who've stepped over that road, have crossed that line. And if you have anybody who's willing to do that, they're not going to give a shit about consequences. You run around talking about, oh, court this, oh, the law this, getting arrested, spending such and such. If someone's already ready to cross that line, they don't care. It's not even about whether they consider it or not. They just don't care. And Phil has dodged some bullets, but eventually you're gonna catch one, especially if you keep acting like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys for the next one of these. Hopefully less nonsense, but you guys know it'll always be nonsense. It will always be nonsense. That's what we do here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GOUT Report, and this is DSP News, 2nd edition. Take care of yourselves, guys. Later, guys.
I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. I wanna live in Bolivia, be oblivious. I'm sick of always having to deal with these idiots. The ignorance is ubiquitous and it's hideous. When I get lucky, that's when I'm the wittiest. When people don't leave me alone, that's the shittiest. When people leave their phone at home, that's the prettiest. Going on a hike shouldn't be considered hippie shit. It's okay to spend some days away from your affiliates. Mother Nature's where I'm planting my seed. Do a dance in the breeze on the branch of a tree. I reside in my mind, that's the land of the free. I got the world in my palm, you should hand it to me. I can't copy and steal cause I got art etiquette. Sometimes I think that everyone's my arch nemesis. I've come to the conclusion my bike is my best friend. My worst enemies tend to be dead ends. I'm in the sun chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got